We'll come back together for our next hour. We have the Canadian Radio and Television Commission with us today, Ms. Laizner and Ms. Bombardier. An opening statement. Please go ahead and give us your opening statement, then we'll go to rounds of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. My name is Christianne Laizner, and I am the Senior General Counsel at the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission. With me today is Manon Bombardier, who is the CRTC Chief Compliance and Enforcement Officer. We're pleased to appear before you as you study Bill C-23, which proposes a number of amendments to Canada's Election Act. And I would like to start by reminding the committee of the new responsibilities that would be given to the CRTC if Bill C-23 were proclaimed. My colleague, Madame Bombardier, will then speak about how the CRTC would be prepared to fulfill its mandate under the proposed legislation. If the bill is adopted in its current form, the CRTC would be tasked with establishing and maintaining registration information for voter contact services. This means that any person, group, or company engaged in voter contact, including those using automatic dialing announcing devices, which we also refer to as robocalls or ADADs, for voter contact purposes, would be required to register with the CRTC. Registrations would be made available to the CRTC within 48 hours after a call is made. La capacité de vérifier l'identité.
The ability to verify the identity of the calling party is another important aspect of the bill. Any person or group using a calling service provider or making robocalls for voter contact purposes would have to provide information to both the CRTC and the calling service provider. Additionally, the bill would require recording of messages and scripts to be maintained for 1 year after the date of an election. Breaches of these rules could cost violators penalties of up to $1,500 for individuals and $15,000 in the case of groups such as political parties or companies. It is important to note that these penalties can be assigned per violation and that each day constitutes a separate violation. Let me now open the floor to Madame Bombardier.
As you already likely know, the CRTC administers and maintains a national do not call list as a tool to protect the privacy of Canadians, but also to reduce the number of unsolicited calls that they receive from telemarketers. To date, the national do not call list includes over 12 million telephone numbers that are registered to the list. There's also over 10,000 telemarketers who have registered. In the nearly 6 years that the do not call list has been into effect, the CRTC has helped those telemarketers both understand what the requirements of the regulations, the rules are, and comply with those rules, and register with those rules. We have received to date over 800,000 complaints and conducted over 1,300 investigations under the unsolicited telecommunications rules. And we have levied over $4 million in administrative monetary penalties in relation to those violations. Now, I mention all of those accomplishments not only because the CRTC takes great pride in these accomplishments, but also because new responsibilities that would be given to us under the new bill, if it was proclaimed into law, would follow a similar model as we have under the unsolicited telecommunications rules. Under such a scenario, we would be able to leverage our experience and expertise in the administration and enforcement of those rules and apply them to the new provisions of the bill. For instance, the CRTC has significant experience in building and overseeing lists of registered telephone numbers and telemarketers. we could draw on that experience, if it was required, to build a similar record to meet the requirements of Bill C-23. Nous avons également mis en place des processus rigoureux.
We also maintain rigorous processes for investigating possible violations of the unsolicited telecommunications rules. Complaints submitted by Canadians are assessed and used to prioritize investigations and determine whether or not the rules were applied. Finally, our methods of ensuring compliance with the rules, such as by issuing citations and notices of violations, imposing administrative monetary penalties, and working with violators to correct improper practices, these can be adjusted to suit new purposes. Mr. Chairman, it would, however, be imprudent of us to suggest that we could simply and quickly adapt our national DNCL systems and processes to suit the requirements of Bill C-23. No new law can be administered with that degree of simplicity. New tools would be needed to be purchased and processes created to handle complaints. We would also need to ensure that candidates and telephone services providers are aware of their new responsibilities and provide timely information to the public. Yet, we at the CRTC are confident that we have the expertise to meet any new responsibilities that may be given to us. Thank you, and we would now be pleased to answer your questions.